Yeah, what's up? What's going on, everybody? It's Super Dave back at it again with a long overdue episode of the PA Political Revolution podcast, where we're here to give you updates on what's going on in local politics and, pretty much the happening that's going around Port Arthur. And again, we have another good episode, right? On this episode, I want to break down to you what's being called the biggest joke to ever be told in Port Arthur, right? This is the biggest joke to ever be told in Port Arthur. Now, it is that the biggest joke that's being told in Port Arthur, right, is we're going to have a mayor, right? A mayor that not only been, kicked out of his out of a church, but has been shut out of being a justice of the peace, right? He has performed that duty so bad that he has been barred, I should say, from ever being a goddamn judge in the state of Texas, right? Now we're gonna go over through this, right? We're gonna go ahead and go deep and delve, remember, right? Revisit some of the reasons why that he was kicked out, right? Some of the reasons why, and show you how sick of a joke that is that the powers they be, right, the unseen hand that kind of controls the city and control these sellouts, that they're putting their people in place for actual power, right? So this is a sick joke of just continuing the same oppressive, controlling form of government in this county. So let's go ahead and kind of get to this, right? Okay, here we go. We're going on the case law findings, right? Case law findings, we have Thurman Bill Boyd-T, the review tribunal appointed by the Supreme Court of Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Boom, decided April 16th, 2004. Basically, it's just like there's a recommendation from the state commission on judicial that responded. Thurman Bill Boyd-T be removed as judge of the Justice of the Peace Precinct in Port Arthur, Texas, and further he be forever barred from holding judicial office in this goddamn state, right? Wow. Now, we're going to show you how highly oppressive and devilish his goddamn conduct were, right? And I think he was actually, I'm not mistaken, he probably been a pastor around the same time too. But yeah, I think so if I'm not mistaken. But this guy has been abusing the goddamn law, right? And what's funny is, you have an opportunity to elect this goddamn son. Goddamn person in this same bloodline to go ahead and continue some of the same crap, right? All right, let's go down here, right here. Summary evidence recorded before the tribunal reveals several incidents giving rise to the complaints against respondent, right, Boyd-T. Because the factual sufficiency of the evidence is challenged, we review each incident, right? Pretty much, other words, Boyd-T was challenging all these incidents that say, hey, it didn't happen or whatever. They're going to go ahead and review each one of these single solitary incidents. Let's go. We're going to go ahead and review it with them, right? The Bush case in May of 2002. Tammy Bush and her daughter, Manya and Maya, appeared before, pardon me if I'm mispronouncing the names, appeared before responding on charges stemming from the daughter's alleged truancy. During the course of the proceedings, right? Proceeding respondent used obscene language in the courtroom. Additionally, Bush and her daughter was not asked to enter a plea regarding the charges, right? First off, let's just say, you go into a doggone courtroom, you got this sick, crazy judge saying, I can't, you stupid, you goddamn fools up in here, I be goddamn, just going all types of crazy. all types of batshit crazy, right? For no goddamn reason. I mean, you shouldn't. You should just be taking a non-biased, a non-personal approach to these doggone cases, man. You have to be a judge. You have to show some constraint, some control. Okay, obscene language in the courtroom. Additionally, Bush and her daughter was not asked to enter a plea regarding the charges, were not informed of their right to a jury trial, and were not asked to waive a jury trial. So during the course of the proceedings, in an effort to maintain control in the courtroom, respondent ordered that Bush and Mason be handcuffed during the duration of the proceedings. Wow. This goddamn tyrant is so egotistical, maniac, psychopath, right? He put these two ladies in these three ladies, I'm assuming, in handcuffs. Let me see, respondent ordered Bush. Okay, Bush and Maya, like two people in handcuffs during the duration of the proceeding. Crazy, no need for that. Ultimately, respondent found Bush and Maya guilty of the charges against them and imposed a fine of $582 against Bush and $3,496 against Maya, without conducting an indecency hearing or otherwise inquiring about their ability to pay fines. Respondent ordered both of them to pay their fines in full that day or to be sent to jail. See, one of the things when I understand, right, the justice of the peace, you want to have like some type of indecency hearing. You don't really want to just throw high excessive bails at truancy, man. Come on, this city is a high. Well, Port Arthur is a high poverty type of city, right? And the poverty is high. We don't have unemployment's high, higher than the national average. So you need to have somebody with some goddamn sense, right? Have somebody with some sense to go ahead and, be mindful of that, man. None of this stuff should be personal. You violated their right to a jury trial. You violated all that and just said, hey, you guilty, we find you this. So, goddamn guy's a tyrant. Lost his goddamn mind. Put him in goddamn jail, right? Bush Spencer played 3 hours in jail before she was able to pay her fine. May was jail for 7 days in Jefferson County before she was released on bond. Wow. The Lewis case. Also in May of 2002, Gwen Lewis and her son appeared before responded on charges that her son had failed to attend school. Lewis attempted to dispute the school's attendance dates regarding her son, and according to Lewis, responded with obscene language. When Lewis objected to the Lewis, like, hey, Judge Barty, calm down, man. I don't want to have all this bad language. Please, my son right here, the kids, please don't use that type of language. I didn't do nothing, Judge, to cause you to, to talk to me like that. So respondent threatened to send her son in jail. Wow. Just pure abuse of authority, right? Incompetence of the law. Jerry Jordan incident. While investigating the allegation that respondent was abusive to litigants in this courtroom, Jerry Jordan, a local newspaper reporter, attempted to observe proceedings in trial. Respondent has his clerk inquire about Jordan's purpose on the courtroom. What you doing here? Jordan verbally protested when he was asked to leave the courtroom. Oh, well, what I got to leave for? You know what I'm saying? He just kicking people out how he feel. That's how he tried to do me when I wanted to goddamn speak at a council meeting. He told me to not sit up and try to assign me a certain spot to sit, right? So the respondent replied with obscene language and referred to Jordan as a racist. Wow, Jerry Jordan. Now, this is an interesting one right here. Magistrate duties, right? On various occasions while magistrating, I thought it was one, I'm tripping. On various occasions while magistrating inmates at the Jefferson County Correctional Facility, respondent threatened defendants in descriptive, obscene language that he intend to engage in sexual relations with the defendant wives while the defendants were incarcerated. This is probably one of the worst ones right here, right? This probably what Boy T Crazy Ass was saying.
Say, you son of a gun, I'm go goddamn the crap out of your goddamn wife while you up in here. I'm go show her this big black meat, and I'm go rub this goddamn meat all over her face, fool. You up in here, you can't do nothing about it. Me and your doggone wife gonna be smoking goddamn together, and while we smoking that goddamn, we go goddamn make hot passionate love right on after, fool, while you up here in jail. Son of a gun, see, that's what I told you, fool. You goddamn, you shit. King Kong ain't got nothing on me, fool. This is goddamn Judge Barty, huh? Goddamn Judge Barty, baby. I'd do anything I want with your wife. You lucky I don't mess with your daughter either, fool. But right now, I'm gonna put this big old meat all up in your wife's face.
Purely disgusting, right? Purely sick, right? You have to be a low-down dog to threaten sexual abuse. To threaten sexual abuse to someone's wife while you're in jail. Man, this doesn't make any goddamn sense, right? This thing alone, you should question anybody out the Barty's bloodline if they're fit for office, let alone be in a position to elect the goddamn tyrant's son. They think you all are stupid. They think you all are stupid, right? See, these people that's controlling these sellouts, these Uncle Toms, like, the Bartys and most of these politicians, they play subliminal jokes with black folks, right? They play subliminal jokes with black folks and, anybody else that's kind of going against the system. They're saying that you all are too stupid, you all are too dumb, that the guy that's been kicked off of the goddamn justice of the peace, we go goddamn put his son right on up in here, right? We go put his doggone son right here so you can goddamn, you can goddamn vote him in too. You don't want the father? You don't want to vote them in too. And also, let me see something right here. Let me go and see something. And then, not only that, you done goddamn elected, and the son tells you he's going to goddamn be just like him. Let's kind of take a look at this. The son is telling you he want to be like his goddamn dad.
Came into the race as a write-in candidate, says he wants to be like his father, Port Arthur Mayor Thurman Barty, and serve the community.
Great integrity, bring transparency to the office. It's bringing our community together as one, and having an open door policy for the Justice of the Peace Precinct 2. Following in the footsteps of my father and doing things to help.
Whoever wins this seat will take on several additional responsibilities. The position includes handling traffic misdemeanors, civil cases, and handling landlord and tenant disputes. Ebony Coleman, 12 News.
So whenever, see the news, right? The news knows the joke. So the news has stopped right on it, right? The news has stopped when he said, hey, he wants to be like his father. I think they in a full meeting, they kind of accentuated that point before. But the thing of it is, they kind of signaling out a joke also. Hey, look, he says he wants to be like his father. And his father did all these goddamn things we're reading about. Threatening these people's wives, sexual, and cursing them out. Let's go in on some more, right? Lonnie McIntyre incident. February 2002, responding to approach Port Arthur police officers as they were engaged in investigating the detention of a Lonnie McIntyre for suspected driving intoxicated. Responding to introduce himself as Judge Barty and as McIntyre's brother-in-law. Responding asked several times to be allowed to drive away Responding asks several times, be like, let me go ahead and take his call. Come on, I'm the judge. Let me go ahead and take his call. Vehicle from the scene. Respondent abandoned his request to drive the vehicle away when 2 rocks of cocaine were found in the vehicle. Respondent ordered McIntyre's release on a personal recognizance bond, which respondent himself later signed. So see, this is the problem, right? When you have, luckily back then we had some police officers that was, just doing their jobs, right? But right now, some of these officers and, individuals are pretty much scared of politics. But so he's trying to use his influence to goddamn, save certain people, to circumvent the law, basically. You want to circumvent the law. Everybody can't have this. He do this to select people that he wants. He wants them to circumvent the law where he can save his brother-in-law, right? His family members. So that's why you gotta always question you having all these goddamn family members all in one goddamn election, all these family members elected to the goddamn same spot. All these goddamn family members, right? And this is what happens when you have family members in there all together. They're going to do things that you can't do crooked stuff that you can't get away with, right? Now, going into the incidents of corporal punishment, the record reveals that in addition to the use of abusive, obscene language, respondent engaged in corporal punishment of juveniles who appeared before him on truancy charges. Respondent threatened to hit juveniles in the head with his gavel. God damn. Not only threatened with a gavel, punched the juvenile in the chest and hit another juvenile in the head with his goddamn knuckles. So he punched one kid and hit another kid upside the head, right? Abuse, not threatened. They hit him. He only threatened to hit him with the damn gavel. But hell, if he could have get away with it, he probably would have hit him with the damn gavel. Punched the juvenile in the chest and hit another juvenile in the head with his knuckles. Respondent also took the belt off and handed it to parents and encouraged the parents to whip or beat their child with the belt. These events took place in the courtroom at least one occasion. Respondent brought the juvenile twin brothers into his chambers and engaged in corporal punishment. So he goddamn taking your kids, beating the crap out of your goddamn kids, right? This is what this goddamn maniac is doing now. You are supposed to elect this goddamn psychotic ass son, right? You supposed to elect this goddamn son. You supposed to elect Brandon. So you think Brandon gonna do any better than this? You think Brandon is not going to continue the same type of bull crap that his dad is doing, the control of this stuff? And look, it's right there in your face. All of these truancy issues, right? He comes in tight relations with Porter Reed, with the school board, right? Him and Porter Reed are like hand and fist. Porter Reed can't do anything wrong. So if you as a goddamn parent go over and elect this goddamn clown as a doggone JP, when you have truancy issues, the school is not going to be any wrong, right? At least Joe Gitter, at least he challenged. He's not afraid to challenge Porter Reed, right? He's challenged him on plenty of times with taxes. They had a whole big issue a while back about the city raising taxes, and they went on the breeze to talk about it. So we know that Joseph Guillory will challenge the school district, right, and keep things fair. But boy, hell, when David Banner came over there, they couldn't admit any guilt right then. So just think, man, you have a person that strong ties to Porter in the school district. They're going to consolidate that power right there. And also, hell, his daddy is over the goddamn housing authority, right? The mayor's position is over the housing authority. So if you have any goddamn housing issues, he's going to keep that on lock. I'm suspecting they're in bed with the ag bearers. Hell, we seen how the judge, we seen how the mayor, boy, T, was talking to the goddamn people at O.W. Collins. Would lie to them, talking about that the people can't some crazy crap about insinuating that the board members can't be taken out when he appoints the board. So, look, man, you have to be a goddamn fool if you are in an apartment and if you vote for goddamn Boy T, right? Son or the father, right? Just Boy T. If you vote for Boy T, you have to understand it's consolidating the powers of the consolidating the powers of the school district to discipline you, and also the apartment complexes to discipline you too, right? They have Boy T in their pocket, so they don't have to pay a lot on fixing those doggone apartments, because the average citizen can come over to the justice of the peace and goddamn sue the apartment complexes, right? So when you have somebody fair like Joseph Gittle, it's going to keep everybody on their toes, right? That's what you have to do. You have to keep these apartment complexes on their toes, and if I'm not mistaken, that's why Boy T had to move to a house, because, hey, how you go live in one of those apartment complexes when you have to make decisions against them? Especially from what I'm hearing, he was living in one of those I-Tax controlled apartments. So, you know, I don't know where he was living, but he was apartment, so I'm assuming it's under I-Tax. But some people are saying it was under I-Tax. So regardless, right? He's in an apartment. He is going to have to make judgments on them. So that's why he has to move out in a doggone home. So hell, if he could have at least stayed in there. Well, if he would have stayed in the apartment, he would have had to probably conflict that case out to the other JP. But it's all about control, right? It's all about control. Also took off here. Let me see. Sufficiency of evidence. Board of Fine Commission adopted a fine reviewable. But the respondent contends the commission is biased against him because it adopted all of the special master's findings except 3 general findings of fact that the respondents say favor him. Respondents who argue the findings and conclusions are waiting and he just complained. It's just a complaint. The overwhelming evidence in this case established that respondent repeatedly utilized obscene language in his courtroom. Respondent admitted to use of obscene language in the courtroom, although he did not admit to all of the instances found in the commission. Dana Graham, who served as chief clerk in respondent's court, testified that respondent used obscene language throughout his tenure of office. Her testimony was echoed by the testimony of the deputy clerk, High Nguyen, and by the deputy constable and deputy sheriff. All of these witnesses testified that respondent's language and conducted exhibited disrespectful to the litigants before him. We acknowledge respondent's proclaimed subject belief that his language was warranted to get through the litigants, and his denial of certain instances of use of obscene language. However, the commission is charged with making credible determinations that resolve in conflicts of the evidence, and the tribunal would not interfere with those determinations. Though basically his doggone excuse is, I got to get through to the parents and the kids, everybody. So instead of using the law, right, instead of going by his job duties and the law, this goddamn fool wanted to be a tyrant. He thought you had to beat the goddamn kids to get through them. Thought you had to curse everybody out to get through them. Thought you had to use to threaten sexual abuse to inmates to get through them. See, all of this stuff is goddamn crazy, man. And you want to goddamn elect this son, you got to be a goddamn fool. You have to be a fool. And that's the biggest joke. See, they think we so stupid, right? They believe, look, them people and them black folk and Puerto are so stupid. Okay, y'all got rid of Boy T. But y'all so stupid, we gonna put his son over here for y'all. We gonna give you his son. We gonna give you his goddamn son to go ahead and goddamn to vote for them. We go put his son in there. So hey, y'all stupid, y'all goddamn vote for him. Usually what they try to do, right? If somebody been dirty, real dirty, and they young enough, they'll try to like recycle them 10, 20 years, like Boy T, recycled. At that time against Freeman, he was the best candidate, right? But we messed up when we re-elected the doggone clown. So that's where we failed that in re-electing the goddamn fool. So, man, look, this is crazy. Investigative handwritten that the tribunal is mindful. Look, it's so bad that the code, look, they had to protect the citizens of the state. It's not to punish or discipline the judge, but it's to protect the citizens. And you're going to lack protection if you get this other boy tee up. You get his damn son in there, right? For hell, like father, like son. You can't afford this. You can't afford this to be there, right? You can't afford them to control this position. You need to have this. Okay. So let me see. This is pretty much finishing up cases at a time that the die in the evil commission. Yeah, protect the public. This use of abusive and obscene language responding was able to intimidate juvenile litigants and their parents, criminal defendants, civil litigants, and a newspaper reporter, even his staff, right? Responding clerk stated she knew with the judge we needed help. That Judge Barty have gotten out of control. This psychopath have gotten out of control. I hope that the judicial court will come by and aid, and I hope that the judicial conduct will do what needs to be done, which is remove him. Judicial Conduct Commission has done what it needs to be done, and we affirm and recommend in all regards. Man, look, guys lost his damn mind. Judge out of control. Boy T, you stupid enough to goddamn do his son, right? And his son told you that he wants to be in the footsteps of his father, be just like his father. Boy, y'all got to be goddamn crazy. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this letter right here, right? Letter right here from Christy DeRuin. Hey, my name is Christy DeRuin. I am married to a wonderful Judge Mark DeRuin, right? You received this letter because I truly need your help. Brandon Barty, who is a great friend of the family, is running as a write-in candidate for the position of Jefferson County Justice of the Peace. Vote for Brandon Barty for Justice of the Peace, too. I find it. I ask that you read this letter and conclude, please find in your heart the support and vote for Brandon Barty for Justice of the Peace Precinct 2. So I need you to understand why Brandon is running as a write-in candidate. The reason why Brandon must run as a write-in candidate because he did not file for candidacy until after the primary election in March of the year 2022. I know you're asking why. Instead of running for JP, he decided to publicly support my husband, Judge Mark DeRuin, who has been in the incumbent for the past 11 years. Mark unfortunately lost to the primaries election by only 47 votes. It was truly a shock to us because I know how much Mark loves serving as the JP of the people. Now, okay, the person that defeated Mark became the Democratic nominee. Sadly, there were a lot of lies and dirty campaigning done against Mark from the Democratic nominee as his team. Mark stood his ground and ran a clean campaign of his entire time. Bull crap. Now this goddamn fool, Christy, her silly ass, her lying silly ass, Mark DeRuin had a goddamn worker that assaulted one of Joe Guillory's campaign members, right? But she completely leaves that goddamn crap out and goddamn had his ass goddamn arrested. Damn near looked like he was resisting arrest at one point, right? Which was all caught on camera. So these DeRuins are dirty ass players, right? They are dirty, low down ass family that has no regards or no respect for law or justice or the right for you to go ahead and cast your vote, right? That's why Brandon came in. His masters, his immediate masters and higher up handlers, right? The DeRuins, they had lost, so he has to go ahead and avenge Master DeRuin and go ahead and try to fight for that position for control. Because, you know, Christy, she's writing his letter to trying to campaign for her husband. It's pretty much Mark DeRuin campaigning by proxy with his wife, Christy DeRuin. So that's pretty much what they're doing right there, right? They're trying to appease some of these voters that they think there's in their pocket, probably some of the white voters or whatnot. But you got to understand, look, Barty is a dreaded name. He's giving hell to black folks and white folks. But he just recently told Bob, well, not recently, during the election, told Bob Patiska, right, get your old crippled white ass out of here, man. You know, Barty is a goddamn gangster. Barty is a goddamn gangster in this politics. I mean, he'll do, say any goddamn thing, in my opinion, right, for the right price. He'll say any goddamn thing. So since Mark was unsuccessful in the primaries, JP Precinct 2 is an open seat for a November 8 general election, right? Brandon always told Mark that he would love to run as a justice of the peace, but not against him. So, you know, there you go. Once Master, Master DeRuin couldn't run, we got the sellout Brandon to go ahead and run, right? Brandon wants to learn a position and be mentored by Mark, which he was doing. So let me get this straight. So he was being mentored by Mark while doing the school board. That's sad. So he was doing all these things allegedly, right? Allegedly. But Brandon doesn't have, if I'm not mistaken, he doesn't have a lot of work experience, right? The only thing I've heard him to do is be a substitute, part-time substitute teacher. And that brings me to another thing, people. You have to understand how some of these people can live without direct jobs or have these bullcrap part-time jobs where everybody else have to work full-time or whatnot. You see him, I know his wife work or whatever, supposed to work, doing whatever, right? But he as a man don't have a part-time job, but then supposed to be, has a part-time job, don't have any full-time jobs, or don't have any real full work outside of people that he's cool with, right? And then to jump him into a mayor position, these people, I jump into a judge position, these people are just popular dummies. They really don't have what it takes to deal with the various people, right, in the different work situations. So they go in and align themselves with damn people that can help them out, right? You know, they'll give them a bullcrap job as a hall monitor, substitute teacher, whatnot, where you going off somebody else, you know, plan. From what I understand, he didn't get his certification to be a real teacher, a certified teacher. And, you know, just as he was a school board member, he didn't go to get better education on that, right? Joe Guerra, he has some type of master education title he had. He has something that he went to get is an additional learning as a board member to what you can do. But I don't think Brandon, he didn't get none of that crap. He just pretty much floating along, right? He just kind of floating along, not really, advancing himself like most people would. But you are expected to have him as a judge. As a judge, but he's going to be over you getting evictions. Going to be over you getting evictions. He's going to be over truancy cases. People, you got to wake the hell up, right? Let's go ahead and finish this old crappy letter out. Brandon always told Mark he wanted to run for justice of peace, but not against him. Brandon wanted to learn a position and be mentored by Mark, which he was doing. The election law in Texas allows for an eligible person to run in office of the general election. Even that person missed the primary election, but they must run as a write-in candidate. It is a difficult task, but Brandon has taken the challenge to run as a write-in for the Justice of Peace 2. We cannot let this court lose the integrity. It already lost the integrity, right? When your husband went ahead and supported Brandon Barty, that was the integrity lost right there. It has been held for the past 20 years, even when Judge Morgan was JP, because judicial restrictions on Mark cannot endorse Brandon or any other candidate. But I am pleased to publicly support and endorse Brandon Barty for Justice of the Peace 2. I humbly ask you that you and your family and friends support Brandon Barty. Please spread the word. Ma'am, this letter is so deceptive. Your husband has already violated his judicial ethics, and I'm pretty sure you already know that they have some claims has been filed against your husband, right? A complaint that's filed against him, right? So with him being in that picture when he first came out, over at it, giving you a handshake, hugging, you even gave a goddamn statement to whatever news organization that wrote about it. Wow. You actually gave them a goddamn statement. You can't be crazier than that. So this family, right, the DeRuans have lost all type of integrity, right? They've lost their ethics, right? Just as Barty has violated ethics violations, you have DeRuan has violated judicial ethics violations, right? So it's just crazy. So you're going in the same process of violating ethical codes, right? And he wants to be like his daddy, and he's being mentored by Mark DeRuan. So hell, what are you gonna expect him to do? Violate ethical codes again? So man, like, it's right in your face. You can play stupid if you want to. Now understand, Brandon has no clue on what to do. This is going to be so far over his goddamn head, right? That he's going to be told what to do. He's going to be incompetent just like his father was in this position. And he's going to be told by different people what to do. Brandon, you do this. You say this. He doesn't have his own mind, right? It's like the doggone, what you call it, the scarecrow with no brain or something? Yeah, that's what these people are like, straight puppets, man. You got to wake up and recognize. So they want you to goddamn do a right-hand clears and, all this crying for Brandon Barty, right? So yeah, man, you got to understand what's going up against us. You have these suspected crooks, right? These suspected crooks want to take over and control this city, right? Now, let me go into why they want to keep this control, right? Let me go in why they want to keep this control. Well, pretty much I want to go to what I was talking about, right? A broke Negro is a scared Negro. I want to kind of break that down to you, what they got going on in Port Arthur, right? A broke Negro is a scared Negro. And the reason why they have control also is so that you won't be able to make no money. They want to keep the poverty in the city. And the reason why they want to keep the poverty in the city is because a broke Negro is a controlled Negro, right? Broke Negro is controlled and scared, because when they keep black folks at a certain poverty level, because the main two jobs right now that you don't have to be a brainiac, you can just go there, be down on your luck, not smart at all, just kind of go ahead and make it, is the city of Port Arthur and also the school district, right? Not saying that smart people don't take those goddamn jobs to be there, but you can go to the school district and be a doggone hall monitor and have some type of job, right? You can probably be a substitute, part-time substitute teacher, right? Just come there when the kids babysit them that one day or whatever, not really have to do anything and get a paycheck. City of Port Arthur, right? Set up where, you can be not the best worker, understand, but you have that manual labor power, or CDL. You can kind of just coast on through there and get your retirement. You can kind of get your like a little pension, if I'm not mistaken. They still got that pension going. So you can do pretty much halfway decent without working over there, right? And hell, you also get some side hustles where these some fraud side hustles right at the city. A lot of times what a lot of people do, they'll go over there and get hurt. I've seen a lot of individuals go over there, be in the drainage department, one of them other departments, where they'll kind of get hurt and they'll kind of work the system to have, retirement forever, disability, whatever. Some type of disability where the city pays you forever. So you have some people kind of hustle that angle of it. So you have those two jobs where you can make a decent living and halfway have like a safety net for you, right? Especially the school district. That's why they have, all these politicians and all these people that's trying to run coming out of the school district or being affiliated with them, right? Have former hall monitors being the mayor, substitute teachers coming on this side. You have board members coming on this side. You have new people trying to run with some affiliation over there. So these two job industries, right? The city, school district, and Port Arthur, you can kind of have some type of small type of job and kind of make it. Now, when you start getting your money up, you're not going to want to listen to a whole lot of people. You're going to have more confidence, right? How they say, if you have more money, it brings out who you are, right? Usually most people, if they could be, arrogant, they would. If they could, kind of speak on their own, they would. But unfortunately, a lot of people have to hold on what they're saying to kind of keep their job, right? A lot of people are afraid to lose their job. Understandably so, right? Hell, it's not only just regular civilian. You have doggone, you have police officers, right? People high up, low up in the police department scared to goddamn lose their job, scared to do their job against their goddamn boss. So, that's another dynamic there. So everybody is scared to lose their job. Everybody pretty much to a certain point is controlled by their money, right? By their job. So the system that controls this city know this, right? So there's no incentive to get you in these refinery jobs where you can retire with over $1 million in your bank account. There's no reason to get you to fight for these process operating jobs, right? Because black folk are easier to deal with when they're controlled, right? Prime example of this. When the city council first time just recently became all black. When Swati, they got rid of Swati behind up out of there, he left or whatever. That time it was all black. And once that time, that council, the first time being majority black, well, all black, they got rid of Brian McDougal, right? Brian McDougal was a white city manager. Oh man, everybody, you had a big crying the white community. You had a lot of people mad at all, even though he was one of the worst city managers ever, lost us so much goddamn money and caused us some flooding and losing money that we didn't need to lose. You had the community, up in arms with that, right? And that community also was the Port Arthur Chamber of Commerce. If you forgot that guy name, that fat son of a gun name, Bill McCoy, right? Bill McCoy. You had him on social media with Robert Reed, Rich Mackey, all these other clowns, right? Talking about that the council has control and just be black, apply all of that bull crap, right? So you had all these suspected white supremacist racists was mad, not because that he did a poor job, and they was mad because these Negroes fired a white person. So what did the white community do? They tried to assimilate a coalition with white Hispanics, right? Since historically Hispanics considered them white, right? And they had something called Mejora la Raza, was to lighten up the race, make the race better by kind of like, instead of breeding with a dark-skinned person, breed with a light-skinned white person, right? So, to a certain point, you have a lot of them have like a colonized mentality, right? So, knowing this, knowing this, they had, make striking a deal, so to speak, right? Hey, we're going to put you in these certain positions. I believe they promoted a few Hispanic police officers. I think they had a few Hispanics in the water department. So it's trying to get certain positions for Hispanics to kind of like drown out the black vote and try to get Hispanics really riled up and increase their numbers, right? They're just trying to do the same thing how they tried to do back in the days with annexing different communities to dilute the black vote. They try to do the same thing with get the Hispanics and try to dilute the black vote on this side of the issue, right? Because We got rid of Brian McDougal. So, that didn't work, right? But they still have a hand in Hispanics, they still have them, trying to, on the weight to try to subdue or try to kind of coincide the black vote. So, kind of watch out for that. It kind of went down, but it's kind of, watch out. So that's another reason why keeping black folk broke is a key component in what they're trying to do, because they've done this before, right? Done this, like I just said, trying to get these Hispanics to run in certain positions and trying to get them go. Didn't see really Hispanics having two Hispanics in a certain race. You had one individually in different races. I forgot, which of them, but the point of me saying all this is that they use this to try to control black folks. So you have to understand it. So the only way to free yourself, right, to make this city better, to get better economics, is to goddamn destroy. You have to destroy the stranglehold that these coalitions have on the city. Now, I just told you have one with Thurman Bartee. We have the Bartees. Brandon him. You have his other handler, Chris Bates, is +1. You have a handler with him and his +1, Chris Bates, with Mark the Ruin. All of them in the same gang together. You have to goddamn watch out for that and understand this is how they keep control. You have it up there with Shane Senegal and them. Shane Senegal have that going down to the Bates with Constable. And you have to understand, why do you see Chris Bates in every goddamn fundraiser? It's like in every goddamn fundraiser or something you see Chris Bates. Damn, when the hell does he do some goddamn work? He's in every goddamn thing. Now that's by design, right? That is purely by design to get some citizen equity in there, right? To see his face out there. So when he can, so they say he's going to go to the take Shane's spot. So these people try to strategically put different people to be successors in them, right? So when Shane kind of Shane Senegal leaves the county commission, they're going to try to put him up in there, right? Just to be the same thing as just the next generation of control. So that's why they put these two together, and that's why they kind of all roll in the same gang. You'll see the Ruin with Shane. They was all out there campaigning for him. It's a network of control, people. You have to understand, if you want to make any type of money in this city, you're going to have to destroy the chain of control so we can get back on here, right? And unfortunately, you have a lot of people that are fake Democrats, right? This fake Democratic Party they have down here. So instead of just going through voting Democrat, vote blue no matter who, you have to go inside and cherry pick, who's who. You have some Republicans that are better for you, the people, than there are Democrats. So it's not a one side picks all. You have to individually look at these people and choose them who's for who. So because it's about control. You have to understand that. Just like what's that guy named Lane Walker, right? They say he was a suspected racist, right? But he was a doggone Democrat. So they get you to vote on Democrat and not looking at the goddamn person. So they'll just, when you elect them, they just have a tyrant, have a whole goddamn tyranny of racism in their office. So we need to remove and to minimize all these crooked ass judges, racist folk, these sellouts. You got to get them out if you ever want some type of economic prosperity for you and your kids in this city. Because if you broke, you not willing trying to fight, you will goddamn lay down and take all the subjugation abuse if you're broke, right? Oh, another good example is BISD, right? When black folk got their money up, their control up, they had a moment where they actually had a control of the BISD, right? See, they don't want no more crap talking people like bosses like Calvin Walker. They don't want nobody that's black, self-made, that's able to make money in here, right? So what do? When they went after Calvin Walker, they targeted his money. That's the main thing they did. They targeted after Calvin Walker's money, so he couldn't fight back. So understand, it's all about economics. And the more that black folk get economics, the more that they will not be able to control black folks, because black folks will have their own means of taking care of themselves, right? They always tell you they want you to pull yourself up by your bootstrap and all this and that, but all of that is a lie, because they won't control you. And you have these sellout ass Negroes that's running these positions, or having all of these goddamn fundraisers like that person's the only goddamn one to do it. Is they have it just to fool you, to fool the people, so they can have control. So that's pretty much it on a scared Negro is a broke Negro, right? Now I'm about to go into Charleston White, right? Charleston White, brother. Hold on. Let me go ahead and put the music back in. Go ahead and put the. Go ahead and replay some of the music, because I'm gonna go ahead and jump in this Charleston White section, right? Now, Charleston White, brother, this message is to you. I'm gonna go ahead and tag you in on this, brother. Please leave our athletes and our rappers alone. They are not the real gangsters out there. They just people, doing them. And they're not bothering anybody, Charleston White. But we have somebody you need to go ahead and try to take a look at. But Charleston White, I think you scared, brother. I think you scared to go ahead and address the real gangsters that we have out here, brother. We have a mayor. Excuse me. We have a mayor that's so gangster, my brother. This mayor is so goddamn gangster. His name is Thurman Billboy T. He is so gangster, right? He's a self-proclaimed 2-time loser. This guy not only lost his goddamn church, kicked out of a church, but most important, when this guy was a goddamn justice of the peace, he done goddamn got kicked out of being a justice of the peace judge forever in the state of Texas. Can't be there no more. Now, some of the reason why he got kicked out was goddamn by beating these goddamn kids, punch them in the chest, hit them upside the head with his goddamn knuckles, threatening their ass, intimidation, incompetence of the law, all these type of things. He was pretty much a doggone psychopath, out of control goddamn judge, right? He got kicked out of there, but we so goddamn crazy, we elected him as mayor. Now, the problem was the first time he wasn't elected. No, the problem wasn't the first time he elected. Been like about 10 or 20 years or so. Yeah, about at least 10 or so years that he wasn't kicked out. So, he had some time to kind of got changed. But we goddamn had the problem. We re-elected him, right? So all this goddamn talk, all this doggone talk, Mr. White, about all these goddamn cops that all these police, I dare you to bring all them goddamn cops and police down to Port Arthur, Mr. Charleston White. I don't think you have a goddamn cop, investigator, drug agent. I don't even think you goddamn get the Texas Rangers down here for these goddamn crooks, brother. I think you scared of them goddamn crooks. We got a gangster-fied mayor. We have he has called himself the mayor of the trio, brother. Man, this mayor is so goddamn gangster. He pretty much crapped on the goddamn elderly. He pretty much crapped on the damn elderly. The elderly had to come to council to talk about the goddamn housing authority rights, where he appoints the housing board. He done lied to their ass, pretty much said he couldn't do a goddamn thing. Not only that, he goddamn Not only goddamn that, he has been acting a goddamn fool. I mean, he haven't, no, not only that, he's been kicked out of the JP. He have a goddamn son. He think we so goddamn stupid. They running his son as a goddamn JP, right? These two goddamn silly ass puppets think they run Port Arthur. You got the goddamn mayor and his son as a school board with president. Now they trying to run the JP where his father got kicked out. We got them trying to run. Now, Mr. Charleston White, you talk about you advocate for the kids, you advocate for all this and all that. I don't think you can do nothing about these goddamn folks down here. Hey, if you want to bring it, Charleston White, I say you bring it. You bring all them goddamn cops. Every swinging goddamn dick you know is a goddamn cop. Bring them down here to the city of Port Arthur. I bet you scared to even mention this. I don't think you're going to mention our mayor. I think you're goddamn just listen what I'm saying and kind of blow past it. But you want to go at the low-hanging fruit of rappers, former convicted felons, young cats trying to turn over their life, or athletes. Man, no. Come on over here. You got a problem with PA, you need to have a problem with our goddamn mayor. We got a clown-ass mayor that'll straight get dead off in your ass, Charleston White. I believe that for a second. I don't believe you have nothing for him or for some of these real gangsters down here in Port Arthur. And I'm going to just keep it short. On that note, take it easy. Peace.